Welcome to WorxTV, your new career and vocations destination. At WorxTV, we're focused in delivering the latest training courses, in-depth company profiles and testimonials from leaders of industry that's sure to educate and inspire. In this episode, we'll be going behind the scenes with the cabin crew from the Spirit of Australia Qantas, as well as chatting to the engineering staff on the ground. We log in with two restaurant entrepreneurs who are merging digital technology and connectivity across their vast hospitality empire to ensure a high standard of quality and economy in running the business. We'll take you into the kitchen for a masterclass on the best gelato in Australia, Messina. Get ready to take notes. Plus, I get thrown in the deep end, literally, with ProDive. So stick around as we bring you the latest career and vocation information right here on WorxTV. Qantas has grown to be Australia's largest domestic and international airline. They've built a reputation for excellence in safety, operational reliability, maintenance and engineering, and customer service. So it's no wonder securing a job with the airline is a lifelong dream for some. And why wouldn't it be if your job takes you across the globe each week?
I couldn't picture a better occupation for myself. I get to speak with different people every day whilst travelling abroad. I get to see different countries, experience the food, the culture, the shopping. It's always great. The girls love the shopping. I wanted to be a flight attendant from a fairly young age. The travelling perspective was extremely exciting. Before I actually joined Qantas, I didn't realise what was exactly entailed in this role. It's actually much more than I expected. It's quite a rigorous training schedule for flight attendants. It's a full 8 weeks of safety and cabin training, followed by emergency procedures training and examinations every 6 months, which you must be on top of 100%. Bringing a flight together takes a lot of work from different parties. There's catering, there's scheduling, there's engineering. It's making sure that the aircraft is ready to go. I like to meet my passengers with a really big smile and a warm hello, welcome on board, and they really seem to like that. Safety is our #1 priority. It comes before anything else. When you travel with Qantas, you know that you're travelling with the world's safest airline, and it's really important to our customers. That's why they come to fly with us. It's incredibly important to our cabin crew to maintain their safety skills. I think this shows through the way that we conduct ourselves at work. You do occasionally meet the same passenger again. They'll get on board and you see their face light up when they see you. You know, they know you by name and they remember that you went to the extra touch on that flight to get them something in particular. I had one passenger get on board and he was so excited to see me. He couldn't believe that I was on his flight again, and it was all because I made him a toasted sandwich. You need to have great customer service skills. You need to be warm, friendly, willing to go the extra mile, set the service standard really high, make our passengers want to come back because they enjoy the experience. It's not just getting you from point A to point B, it's making sure that you enjoy every bit in between. I'm Carrie and I'm a long-haul flight attendant for Qantas.
For more info on becoming a flight attendant like Carrie, or to join this great industry in another role, go to discoveryourcareer.com.au to kickstart your career in this dynamic and exciting industry. The digital age is definitely upon us. Smartphones, tablets, mobile devices with connectivity anywhere, anytime. In our next story, we meet Mike Palmer and Mark Scanlon, two restaurant entrepreneurs who have taken this technology and applied it to the catering world, with most of the benefits to you guys, the customer.
We launched here 2 years after the Kirribilli business had opened. Crow's Nest has a large number of restaurants, over 150, between here and St Leonard's. It was probably 20 or more years ago when North Sydney Council introduced pavement dining. So that was a first. It's a kind of a village atmosphere, you know, strolling down through Willoughby Road. A good wide choice of restaurants to choose from. Here at Crow's Nest, we introduced cameras into our kitchen. It was a new phenomenon because no one else was really doing that 10 years ago, so much so that Channel 7 News did a story about us and our TV cameras. It's a novel addition to what we do here. We also developed our own software package called School of Fish. Every day the managers can put onto the plasma TV screens the fish that we're serving, where it was caught, the textures and the taste of the fish. We're trying to educate and inform our customers a bit more about the kind of fish that we're serving to them. With people having more and more tablets and devices and doing business more and more outside of the office, restaurants are becoming a good place for businessmen to meet and discuss business, and often they need to have the information at hand. So the hospitality hotspot that the association is promoting is something that we wish to get out more and more to our members. So yeah, it's happening.
Mark would probably agree with this, but 20, 30 years ago it was a pain being a restaurant manager. You were chained to the restaurant, and they used to say you can't be in two places at once. But nowadays, with a bit of technology and so forth, you can certainly turn up the heat by remote control, as I call it. We use across the 7 restaurants, we use Skype teleconferencing. We have a monthly chef meeting. We bring all the chefs into a central point, and those that can't make it, networking with Skype, and part of the meeting as such, where that wouldn't have happened sort of 5-10 years ago. No. You've got programs such as Asana, so it's a task-based management program I have on my iPad. Again, it's a free app. It's a kind of to-do list for each of my managers, and you keep that updated. So I can have repairs and maintenance on there, can have tasks that all my managers need to do, my chefs need to do, etc.
So can you be at home, Mike, and at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, dial into one of your restaurants, if that's the correct terminology, and actually view orders as they're being placed to the kitchen?
Yeah, it's benefits in real time and so forth. So as soon as a server places an order on a handheld device, and we have handheld order devices in the restaurants, as soon as they place that, the tickets are printing in the kitchen, and it's then uploaded onto the server, which I have access to, and pretty much in real time. Slight delay, but very, very slight. On a real-time basis, the managers at night time can sit down with a member of staff and say, listen, you only sold 10 desserts tonight. You had 30 customers. I was expecting you to sell 15. What were your opportunities? And so forth. So yeah, exactly right. If you look here, I can drill down and I can see that Fred started work at 34 minutes past 4, and he's still on the clock and so forth, and he's done 32 hours so far this week.
All right, so if the restaurant's not busy, you can see whether or not your manager's sending someone home after 2 or 3 hours work.
And one of the other things we've got with technology is we've got CCTV cameras around each of the restaurants. I've got 8 cameras. You can have a look and you can see here's Penrith coming up, and that's the bar at Penrith, and you can see not many people at the bar at the moment, so I can be kind of looking at that situation and saying, okay guys, let's drop down to 2 bartenders rather than 3 or whatever else.
And why isn't that person cleaning?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
What are they doing there? Yeah. If I take a picture of Mark's curry and say, chefs, what do you reckon? Should we put this on our menu?
Well, we'll have to have a look. It's Thai jungle fish curry, yes.
There are some jobs that you just think, people actually get paid to do that? Well, this is certainly the case with our next story. In fact, it was such a good job that I thought I'd take it for a test run. For you, of course. Everybody loves the ocean. Well, imagine having a job that lets you explore the underwater world every single day. Interested? Get ready for Pro Dive! Brad, how long have you been a Pro Dive instructor?
Well, I'm 27 now and I've been with Pro Dive for about 4 years.
And can anyone become a dive instructor?
There is some requirements that you need to fulfill, medical requirements, and you need to know some swimming techniques and stuff, but apart from that, it's all in the course.
What about sort of your physical state?
We've got a dive instructor now with one arm. He's doing his training with us. Anything's possible.
And do you take people with disabilities diving as well?
Yeah, we take everyone through to quadriplegics.
And what sort of specific courses are available, or do you have to do before you become an instructor?
Okay, so you've got your open water.
Yep.
That's your first one. Okay, that goes through all the basics of the training of how to dive, the equipment and safety. Then you go into the advanced course, and that teaches you a little bit more about being underwater. Not so much like the equipment, but more yourself in the water. Then you go to your rescue diver course, which is more about situations of what's going to happen if things go wrong. Okay, you need to learn about those safety techniques. So that's the third course, and then the fourth course is the dive master course, and now you're getting into the professional training. So that's a bit longer course. That's about a 2-week course full time, and that teaches you how to, again, safety and how to lead dives and how to help out and assist an instructor as well. Then you get into the instructor level as well after that.
Right, and so when you are fully qualified, can you just go out by yourself diving wherever you want?
Yeah, so that first qualification is a certification. So you've got a card for life, go out, dive wherever you want.
Okay, and how long does it take to become a pro dive instructor?
You can do it 2 ways. You can do it either a part-time or a full-time programs, and it can go as short as 6 months.
6 months? Wow, so in 6 months' time, you could be taking your own classes, deep sea diving.
Yep, out into the ocean.
And do those qualifications carry anywhere overseas, internationally?
Anywhere in the world, pretty much, yeah.
So once you've got your pro dive instructor certificate, you can take courses in Egypt?
Yep, as long as there's water and ocean, you've got a job.
How good was that, mate? That was unreal, mate.
Haven't I got the best job in the world?
It was one of the best experiences I've ever had. Let's go again. Woo-hoo! Yep, that's a job. And ProDive are currently hiring. Or if you just want to take a course, well, they have plenty of them available right now. And that's just one of the many exciting options in the tourism and hospitality sector available right now. Go to discoveryourcareer.com.au for more information, career options, and to kickstart your new career. Our next story, believe it or not, is even sweeter than the last. Well, according to your taste buds, that is. Gelato Messina has taken Australia by storm and truly set the benchmark for amazing gelato. With inspiration coming from the pastry industry, their flavours are revolutionary and they're not precious about keeping the secrets to themselves. Messina offer classes on Saturdays from 9 until 12 and bookings can be made online. However, for our lucky viewers right now, we take you backstage with the man himself who will reveal the secret to the perfect salted caramel gelato.
Trip to Italy, met a friend of my uncle's who was a gelato maker, and he showed me a couple of the basics. This was some nearly 25 odd years ago, and that's really where it all began. That's where the passion started. Now we're approaching our 10th year here in Darlinghurst, and I think a lot of the hard work has started to pay off. At the moment we're doing around about 2,000 litres a week. We're starting to push upwards of a couple of thousand people now a day. Certainly on the Friday, Saturday nights, if the weather's great, yeah, definitely. The one thing that attracted me to Darlinghurst was we have all walks of life in this suburb. And everyone intermingles and interacts with each other. If you do something really well, you get rewarded for it. And that's why in this area you'll see businesses that have been around for 10, 15, 20, even upwards of 30 years. Established businesses that have become virtually institutions. Every single flavour we make has its own unique recipe. We have 40 at any one time. Gelatos are more dense sort of products, so you might only have 15 to 25% air, whereas with ice cream, upwards of 50 50, 60, 70. The cheaper brands up to 100% air, which means you put a kilo of mixture in and you get 2 litres of ice cream out. You need a little bit of air component because without some air in your mixture, you don't have a product that's scoopable. It becomes hard as a rock. So a little bit of air is required, but all the industrial sort of ice cream, they're pumping in air artificially. So you need more fat, you need more flavorings, you need more colorings in order to get something out of it when you're adding that much air. With gelato, that's not necessary because you're only adding about 15% air, so you get to taste a natural product. A good ice cream or a good gelato should have a nice silky texture. It shouldn't be light and fluffy, it should be quite dense, and it shouldn't be full of fluorescent colors, and it should be just a nice matte pale color. It's a misconception with ice creams and gelato. The brighter it is, the better it is. Basically means colorings, and so you want natural looking products. One of the flavors that we got a lot of attention with was salted caramel, and we made it once as a trial, and we've never been able to take it off the menu. It's now become a permanent. I'd love to show you. Have a look.
We're going to make a caramel first, so this is the salted caramel part. What we've got here is caster sugar.
We're going to aim for an 18% sugar level. So most gelato range is between 14 on the low side, 20 on the high side. We're going for a medium 18. Sugar controls the scoopability of the gelato. If you go on the lower side, you'll end up with a crumblier, fractionally harder product. If you go too high with sugar, you'll get a very sloppy, won't sit up on the cone properly, will melt quite quickly.
So once we've put on our sugar, so as you can see, it's an amber colour, and we're just going to add our cream gradually.
So again, most gelatos range between 4% and 8%. With an 8% butterfat content, we're going to get quite a rich, creamy, dense sort of product. To that, now we add our skim milk powder that helps give the entire recipe some protein. And what protein does is it enables the air to be absorbed by the mixture. Because if you don't have any air, it becomes really hard and not scoopable.
Okay, so I've whisked in all of my skim milk powder. About to add the milk.
Now we add the milk. The milk's 500 grams.
And last but not least, to make it salted caramel, we add the salt. This here is Murray River pink salt. So it's not actually a sea salt, it's a river salt.
We're going to take this product up to 85 degrees and try to cool it down as quickly as possible. The reason why you do this is because you're pasteurizing the product at the same time. Very important process because you're dealing with milk and dairy, and so bacteria can form. Crucial that once you get to your desired temperature that you drop it back down again as quickly as you possibly can and put it straight away in your ice cream machine, and that'll do the rest of the job for you. So now we're going to put it in our churner and press start. The great thing about this Breville ice cream churner is that it's got an automatic setting for gelato, so we just chose the gelato setting. You can do sorbet, frozen yogurt, gelato or ice cream. So for this setting, we're going to choose gelato, and it should take hopefully 15 to 20 minutes. So the great thing about this machine is that it automatically senses the hardness of the type of product you're trying to make. So whether it be frozen yogurt, whether it be gelato, whether it be ice cream, once you put the setting in and the machine reaches that desired temperature, then the machine will shut down and maintain it for you. So there's no need for you to quickly rush back and take it out. It'll just sit there and maintain it at that desired level that you've chosen until you're ready to take it out.
As far as ice cream goes, we like to push the boundaries, so instead of taking inspiration from other gelato makers and other gelatos, we take it from the world of pastry. This comes to us from France. We've done other things such as pavlova, peach melba, and we've just tried to incorporate all the parts of that dessert into a gelato.
Now it's time to head back to Qantas headquarters and explore what happens from the ground level. The engineering and maintenance branch employs some 6,000 personnel from a total airline staff of about 30,000. We chat to Yanni, an aircraft maintenance engineer who explains what's involved with his job and of course the best thing about it.
I see a plane as a perfect working sculpture. It's a beautiful, magnificent creature that it's like a ballerina floating across the sky. The plane moves through space at around 500 mile an hour, 600 mile an hour, carrying about 300 to 400 people. You know, it's a very huge responsibility. We have a saying in engineering that schedule is king and safety is God. and we don't compromise safety for schedule. That's the good part about the job, is you're getting it done. Another one's out the gate, another one's over the fence, and people are happy. This business works within regulations, but nothing's stagnant. So you're keeping up with new trends and new ways of doing things every single day. There's this guy in my team who has a ritual of handling his tools and cleaning them, and everything is in its own place and space. It's minute attention to detail that's involved in something as simple as putting tools away. And we all have that kind of thing working on aircraft, because you have to deal with the detail. You have to have an eye for things that are different. It's all part of what we all do. My team is like a family away from home. Because you spend so much time with these guys, you develop that sort of family-style relationship. My outside life is a little bit crazy. I'm an artist, but these guys keep me well-centred and on the ground. And everyone supports everyone. It's great. It's a wonderful environment. It's what keeps me at Qantas. The best thing about my job is the people, honestly. And working for a company like Qantas, there's a lot of pride in that. I love it when I go out to dinner and people find out, and then they start talking to you about planes and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of pride in that. I'm Yanni. I'm an aircraft maintenance engineer for Qantas.
To learn more about jobs and careers in a sector that employs over 1 million Australians, head to discoveryourcareer.com.au to kickstart your new career. That's all we have time for today. I hope we've inspired you to consider the vast array of training and opportunities on offer. See you next time.